Welcome back, guys. Paul the UK Reefer. Thanks for joining me. We're on day 13. And as you can see, there is still an extremely large bacterial bloom, or as you can't see. Followed the Reef Mature program. We're close to the end of it now. And I'll go through the readings in a minute. Overall, the bloom has been there probably about 8 days now. So we obviously haven't built up enough beneficial bacteria in the dry rock and dry sand yet to clear it. So we'll keep working on that. A few theories as to how we're going to crack on. But the reality is patience is the key, and I'm not the most patient of people. And although I set out with all the best endeavours, I continue to be frustrated. But I shall remain patient. Nothing live or dangerous is going in this tank until I'm ready and until it's ready. And I've got all the time that I need. So, changes since the last vid. Pretty much the only thing we've really done is add the the Senai. So we've got the Senai for a par meter anyway. But the reality is it's just going to sit there for most of the year doing absolutely nothing unless I utilise it. So I've put the web server on it, I've got it live. Just going through my first trial of it, and the readings are pretty close, but I think I need to fine tune them, and I've already spoke to Senai about that, and they've basically told me a few tips and tricks with the slides and whatnot. So long story short, the Senai, useful, good to dial in online. If you're not going to get an apex, it's useful, and obviously because I'm cycling with dry rock, I've got every chance of an ammonia bloom when I put my first fish in. And the apex will tell me by text message whether that's the case, and I can also keep a handy eye on me temperature and whatnot. Yeah, what I would say about the Senai is it's not the easiest to install all round, and although they've tried their best to put the instructions together, I'm not massively impressed. The first unit turned up and the web server power part was broken. It looked like it had been forced, so I don't even know if it was a brand new one. But I sent it off to Senai, and fair play to them, they sent it hardwired with a socket back next day delivery, so I haven't missed out on anything. But even just attaching the whole thing wirelessly to the internet, it's just, I don't know, when you're used to Radion's, Ecotech, and even the Kamoa Dosa, it just was a little bit painful. But anyway, one thing I'm going to do today is shorten this hose for the return at the back here, the green one, because the return pump is kind of on its side. I'm sure you can see it in there. So it's a bit too long, so I'm just going to trim an inch or so off that and fine tune that, which I can do nice and easily while there's not much livestock in, or no livestock and anything going on. But yeah, other than that, temperature probe's gone well, really like that one. It's the DD controller with the Aquamedic titanium heater, perfect so far. No trouble with any of the pumps, of course. And yeah, pretty much just want to get going. But this is the patience part. So let's go over to the testing station. I've just done some testing. As I said, we're on day 13, and I'll run you through the tests in a minute, but if I just kind of show you how we've gone so far. Temperatures remain constant within 0.3 of a degree. Now I'm monitoring that on the Kamoa Dosa, and I'm also monitoring that now via Senai. So yeah, temperature with that controller has been perfect, really impressed with it. Salinity's jumped a slight bit because I've done a couple of little mini water changes in there just to try and help keep the alkalinity stable, and also to try and sort of mitigate some of that bloom. I know you're not really supposed to do too many water changes, but I've done 2 small ones, and they do say to do that in the Reef Mature program, so I've not gone off piste too far. Nitrate, had that from the start. 15 points, up to 45. It's like soup in there at the minute. But yeah, nitrate's supposed to be a good sign that a cycle's kind of happening or happened. So that's always good. I've been testing a bit of PO4 phosphate just to see. There's a very small residual amount in there. Probably just from the stuff that I've been putting in through Reef Mature. Alkalinity started quite high because of the initial salt input using Red Sea Coral Pro. But it did lower quite quickly, so I've been dosing a bit of alkalinity a day just to keep it above 8. Not really struggling to do that. It's literally been about 5 or 10 mil a day just chucked in the return section. pH, absolutely rock solid 8.2. Never struggled from that. Haven't really been testing calcium, magnesium. Don't see the point at the minute. Ammonia, the big one at the minute. Started with 1 part per million. everywhere I've read saying you should really be hitting 2 every now and again just to get a really good bacterial flock in there. But I mean, I can only use what's in front of me because I'm using the Reef Mature program. I've spoken to a guy from Red Sea on the Red Sea Facebook page who said it does take longer, but just stick with it, it does work. So I'm sticking with it, and I'm absolutely going to try my best to stick with it. But yeah, ammonia, you can see the 1 part per million at the top, which is when we first put the first load in, and then the second part is when we put the second lot in. Now I put a further lot in around there, I want to say, and it didn't even show the following day. So something's eating it up, and that would be the nitrite, because if you can see in the next column, the nitrite started very low and then it's built and built and built. And we've been solid at 0.5 for a week now. What I have been doing is also testing the nitrite, if you just see that in the column here, with my ultra low nitrite reader from Hannah, which is something that is a little extra. And it's still showing it. It's gone down to 97 today, which should be around here. So we are slightly losing a very few parts of it per day. And if that goes on for another week, we might be ready for fish in a week. Who knows? But I'm still quite conscious of trying to try and get my my bacteria bloom out of the way. So just running through the test there. There's the ammonia, absolutely nothing in it. Here's the nitrite, so there's our 0.5-ish part per million, which we're trying to see reside or reduce. And then here's the nitrate, which is soup, which I can't wait to get stuck into with some further no-pox and water changes once we've cycled. So yeah, obviously using the nitrite ultra-low reader, which was reading 97, and the alkalinity one, which I thought the screens were going to stay on while I filmed, but they've obviously gone off, and that was reading alkalinity at 8.1. This thing, can I just say, is brilliant. I'm absolutely over the moon with it. Same as the phosphate ultra-low reading one. Both of them two I can see being really, really important, and it will just mean that when I'm testing for parameters going forward, although calcium and magnesium will have to happen the way they happen with the Red Sea kits, phosphate and alkalinity, yes, Hannah's all about it. If you can get them, get them. So yeah, that's my update for now. Please do comment. Oh, walking around the kitchen, apologies for the washing. Please do add some comments if you can. Anything you can do with the bloom. Everywhere I've read just says be patient, including Red Sea. I have had ammonia in the tank and it's gone. I have got nitrate on it and it seems to be very, very slowly reducing. That to me is what a cycle is all about on everything I've ever read or experienced. And I'm just hoping that in a week or so, maybe even 2 weeks if that's the case, that we can chuck a couple of clowns in and leave them there for a good 3 weeks to just build it up very, very slowly. So yeah, it looks ugly, expecting it to do that, and then even when it's cycled for loads of diatoms and green algae and whatnot. But the goal is in 7 months' time to have some high level SPS growing right about here. So yeah, there's my update. Questions, subscribe, like, all the stuff everyone says in these videos. Stay tuned.